Hello, and welcome back to another installment of whatever I want to talk about. I know, it's weird. I don't have an upload schedule or anything like that. It's just kind of like whatever I can do. But I do want to warn you that today's topic is going to be sensitive for some of you. It is about the baby box that was installed in Kentucky about 3 months ago. And I'm going to be talking a lot more about like stuff that's happening within the state. I really do feel like people don't know how bad it is here. One of the things that, like I mentioned in the description of my upload video where I was discussing my teeth, is I was going to explain why exactly like Medicare and Medicaid are so bad in Kentucky. But literally like Kentucky just doesn't want to pay or compensate these healthcare providers or dental professionals what they want to be compensated, so they won't work with them. And a part of it is the prohibitive, highly expensive price of healthcare in America, but it's also like just greed on the part of the state not wanting to pay for decent healthcare for the citizens and spend the money in other ways. So with that being said, we're going to take a look at a comment section of a Facebook article on the first newborn that was left in the baby box. And I do warn you, this is going to be rough, but you have to understand, like, this is what these people are putting this out there on social media. Like, they're not afraid to say this stuff. And I think it's really important that we look at this. And I know, like a Facebook comment section is going to be rough, but this is some true derangement. And you get the average old lady saying like, abortion's never the answer, okay, we've heard that one. But the truly god-awful replies, I mean, the first one is kind of like, this one just assumes it was a teenage pregnancy or something like that. But Michael says, at least it's better than a dumpster on prom night, to get us kicked off with, everything. But one man, we'll call Justin, says, install cameras on the box and then make it an abandonment charge. If you're going to open your legs, then accept the consequences for your decisions and raise your child. Wedlock or no wedlock, this will put nothing but a strain on taxpayers. There should be no reason this should be allowed. Justin, we're going to break down everything that I have a problem with in your statement here, because women should not be obligated to raise the children that they're now forced to gestate to term and birth against their will. They should be able to hand that responsibility off to somebody else if they don't want to do it, because they are forced to give up their autonomy for that now. We are treated less than a corpse. So, Justin, I don't care what kind of strain it would put on the taxpayers. Funding and caring for children should be like the number one priority if you want people to have happy and healthy families, or even have a chance maybe raising some of these children. But no, I don't know where you think the money would be better spent, but I would think that the party that claims it's America first would want to take care of Americans, especially the most vulnerable ones, as these children are first. But I don't think that you're putting that together. So yeah, Justin, that's really disturbing that you even suggest surveillance. And one thing I will say about these articles is that I don't appreciate them. I really wish they would quit publicizing every time an infant was left in one of these boxes, because then everybody just starts searching to demonize this mother and try to find out what's going on. Like, she doesn't need that kind of attention if she's clearly in this kind of situation, okay? So, I don't know. That's just more surveillance state BS that I can't. That's just really disturbing. And these people never have a profile picture with their actual face in it, so you can't identify them. So they're just hiding behind like pictures of their dog or something like that, and it's really disturbing. So our next one, comes from, we'll call him Ed. And Ed's replying to Shelby's comment here. And Shelby says, wanting an abortion equal bad. Having a baby, safely dropping it off, equal apparently also bad. Make it make sense. So Ed tries to do what men do and offer a poor explanation for a more complex problem than what he can comprehend. So Ed says, it is bad. If you gonna get pregnant, then be a woman and take care of it. Then the man doesn't get off that easy. They should make a box to drop off a pregnant woman for the man. In most situations, like, the guy's gonna split, like, immediately. Like, either as soon as he finds out she's pregnant, sometime during the pregnancy, or, like, right after the birth. Like, that, it's, people think that all relationships are gonna, like, survive unplanned pregnancy. Or this one just assumes that there's a man in the picture anyway. And that is not the case a lot of the time. So, Ed demonstrates his colossal ignorance in just so few sentences. It's amazing. But let's move on. I'm not really surprised Ed's single. And then we have Josh. Josh is your typical vanilla looking young man. And he says, I would also like to dump the consequences and responsibility of my actions onto others, please. I bet your mother is really wishing that she had done the same right about now. Although it seems like she might have if you were raised and absorbed all of that great content from men with microphones on the internet. That's just so ignorant. There are so many reasons. This just highlights the problem with how emboldened these manosphere, like, men types are on YouTube. Now, here's my thing. I leave a lot of really strongly worded, opinionated comments under videos. And I'm not afraid to tell somebody if I think they're stupid. Like, it's just in my blood. And the only one time that I got my comment removed or got in trouble on YouTube is because I commented on some manosphere content. I was like, this isn't even remotely worth listening to, because, I mean, listen to what you're advocating for. And I don't even remember exactly what I said because I couldn't look the comment up, and I don't really even care. All of that content is just garbage. And it's radicalizing young men to the point that they feel emboldened to say this kind of stuff. And the repeal of Roe v. Wade has made them even bolder to treat women like crap and say this stuff. I mean, you gotta understand that, like, there is a TikTok trend. Actually, it started about 2 years ago, from what I could find information on. But in 2021, there were supposedly a group of 6 men that created a national day for unwanted intimacy on April 24th. I mean, this stuff is getting dangerous, and people don't understand. Like, I would honestly classify some of this as terroristic threatening. Like, it's gotta stop. It's gotta stop, and we gotta. The problem is that YouTube will censor people like me just for calling somebody, like, a like a dumbass or something. And, like, but they'll be like, well, the manosphere content is just their genuine thoughts and opinions. While they're like, literally advocating for, intimate violence and intimate partner violence, and really that's like what inspires me to get on here and deal with everybody's BS every day, because I did leave an abusive relationship and I am going to help other people do that same thing, and I am going to just tear into these people because it's therapeutic and it's necessary, and it's, you know what, I am so tired of YouTube's algorithm. This is a completely different rant, but I'm so tired of YouTube's algorithm putting the stuff in front of me. While people like, if anybody watches Sloan Hooks, while people like Sloan Hooks get strikes on their channel, while people like, Fundy Fridays get strikes on their channel, just for talking about what they dare to talk about. And it's not free speech unless criticism is included in that. And I know I'm going to regret saying that someday, because it's going to be lofted at me. But at the end of the day, like, I am so tired of people being like, well, you can't call them a potato, or you can't call them this, or you can't call them that, when they're literally advocating for violence against women, just in coded dog whistle speech. And they're openly advocating for prosecuting women who seek abortions and things like that. It's the demonizing language. It's allowing them to police our language. Like, literally the reason why they say unborn baby in medication commercials instead of fetus or embryo now is because there was a law enacted somewhere in the 2000s. I remember I was in high school when it happened, that changed the wording in legal commercials to have to include unborn baby. The language policing comes from the right, and it always has come from the right. And I know that was a really weird tangent, but please understand that it is something that I am tired of seeing. And I do think that the limitation on criticism from the left to conservatives, we don't have to be nice. You're literally removing our rights. We should be able to call you whatever the frick we want to call you. We should be able to swear on a platform where we can restrict content by age. And we should expect parents to be responsible for monitoring their own child's content, and not expect content creators to be responsible for how their thoughts and ideas are shared in whatever language that they feel fit. Like, I get so fired up about the lack of accountability in that area, and I know that, like, you can't watch your kid 24/7, but, like, come on. You gotta be reasonable. You have to be reasonable. So, moving on from Josh's comment. Oops. Oh my gosh, I hate that. Have you guys ever been trying to scroll through, like, screenshots or something, and, like, you can't, or, like, you accidentally scroll all the way back to the beginning? Oh, it's so annoying. So, this is somebody, these are two young men that are obviously, like, absorbing that kind of content. And Brian and Corey. Corey. Brian says, glad this option is out there, but it's kind of messed up that a woman can drop a baby through a shoe like a male and walk away with no repercussions. While prisons are filled with men being absent parents too. Make this make sense. So if you read between the lines here, you can understand that Brian thinks that there should be some sort of prosecution for doing this. Even though safe haven laws exist so women can surrender newborns without consequences. And a lot of them have been on the books long before these baby drop boxes were a thing. So you could take them to a fire station, a police station, anything like that. But now he's making an implication that he thinks that there should be some prosecution. And then Corey here agrees with him. He's like, I was thinking the exact same thing. The article says the mother loved the baby. In that case, why would she abandon it? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because she couldn't properly care for it, and she knew that. And she knew that there would be a better chance for that child somewhere else with someone else that was more capable of caring for it. And recognizing that you are not up to the task of properly being able to provide for a child and giving it a chance as somebody who can, or giving it a chance to go somewhere else, you know, for a little while until you are able to take care of that child. If you want to. Then, like, I don't know. And you know what? I see that this young man's in a relationship. And I fear for the young women who think that these young men are worth their time and energy. Because he doesn't respect women, and she may be too, I don't know, invested to see that. My God. And then a third man named Bill agrees with him. I was thinking the same thing. That ain't love. No, you were thinking the same thing, like, maybe we should prosecute these women. Like, this is very fine, like, this is gross. These people are gross. Oh, here is the craziest one. Oh, I saved the best one for last, y'all. I promise. So, this is Brad. And I'm sorry to all the Brads out there, but he's one of those generic, like, I hate Democrat people. So, I'm gonna try, like, do my best to, like, conservative man voice for you. Democrats, abort! Any sane individual. But the children are 12 and 3. They're both living, breathing human beings. So he's comparing abortion to literally killing like 3 and 12-year-olds. So massive logic jump, massive logical fallacy problem, massive logic problem there. And then he goes, Democrats, abort. My body, my choice. And he's saying individual. They're literally not your body. Democrats, abort. It's literally the dumbest thing I have ever seen in all of my life. What? The fact that he used the age of a child in the double digits, I can't. Like, the fact that these people are allowed to vote scares me. I think there should be like a test. Like, if you score anywhere, this is probably the scale we should use. We should be like, are you a Brad? Are you a Brad scale? Because this is absolutely demented and insane. But you know what? He goes on to back up his moronic comment, which is the greatest thing in the world. And he calls it, like, he tries to say his comment, he tries to back it up. He's like, satires more often than not is objective reality and truth. Truth stings, and it is salty as opposed to sugary, as opposed to a sugary sweet. And then, I really appreciate my girl Megan for trying, but these people are a level of crazy that even I don't enjoy engaging with. And I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy watching a little bit of mental gymnastics. actual gymnastics is more entertaining, but the way she says, so satire aside, how many kids have you adopted? Now tell me how many have you aborted? And Megan goes, none. And I assume your answer is the same. Instead of mocking others' opinions on Facebook, which is virtually doing no help to help those babies, how about you go be proactive and adopt some kids? And then we have Blaine, who echoes another really ignorant sentiment. It's like, I'm so glad that these people are brought up in such sheltered environments that they cannot imagine a scenario in which this happens. Like, I would want to know, like, what it's like to be that naive about the state of the world. Because I'm not. And it sucks a lot of the time. So Blaine says, Annetta says some generic pro-life thing, like, because you love them enough to give them a chance. And then Blaine goes, what? Love them? If she loved the baby, she wouldn't give it away. My goodness. Blaine obviously does not understand. These men are gross. And you know what's even more disturbing is it looks like he has like a wife, a girlfriend, a daughter, maybe something in that picture with him. This is going to be a controversial statement, but yes, these men are horrible, but the women that support them or stay with them when they believe these things are doing themselves a huge disservice, and they're doing the rest of us a disservice. I honestly don't like them more. Like, no, I'm not going to support all of your choices. I'm not going to support all women's choices because women are making some bad choices right now. Like, literally. Like, I can't with this. Oh, and Blaine. So, and then Carol, like, there is this lady named Carol that says, of course it matters. Good Lord, what's wrong with you people? If you're not killing them, you're giving them away. Heartless women. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I don't care how far we're supposed to internalize this value of our fertility and everything. I'm not doing it, and other women shouldn't be obligated to do it. And this kind of stuff, no, Carol, no, that's so disgusting. And then well, oops. Oh, no. Oh, I'm gonna apologize and say, like, that's not Carol. That was Blaine saying something to Carol. Blaine actually said, like, Carol is actually trying to take up for the woman. I'm sorry they had it backwards here, but Blaine actually replies to this. And that was his reply. Blaine goes, of course it matters. Good Lord, what's wrong with you people? You're not killing them. You're giving them away. Heartless women. And then Carol is just trying to talk some sense into this man. And Carol, you're my hero. I'm sorry for, like, bad-mouthing you a couple of minutes ago, but I was reading things backwards. I've got it right now. So Carol comes up to bat. And she's brave. You don't know her situation. Would you be happier if she threw the baby in a dumpster? This could be a 15-year-old girl. Could be a drug addict. You have no idea. Bottom line, it's a baby, and she can't care for or didn't want to care for, and she made the right choice. And Blaine literally says, and he says, like, the words "you people" in here, which should tell you how degrading, like, he is toward other people. But stop making excuses for this behavior, Carol. It really disturbs me that this man has women in his life at all. It really does. So So, another brave soul comes up to bat. She has absolute insanity, and she goes, just a little confused. What would you have the mother do? And Blaine replies saying, a loving mother wouldn't leave their own child in a box like she's mailing a letter. A loving heart wouldn't have a child she can't keep. Stop making excuses for this behavior. It's women like you who encourage this that are part of the problem. I pray my God softens the heart of people like you and the baby murderers and those who just throw their babies away in order to see the truth and all how wicked it is. So, it's just really sick to imply that these mothers don't love their children. In fact, like, it may actually, like, kill them inside to have to do this, but they know it's the best decision for them. And there are people, like, preaching all up and down for him to, like, understand, like, and now I am of the opinion these baby boxes are dystopian AF, okay? I feel really bad for the children that get left in them. And I get, like, this kid's gonna have to grow up one day and see this article on here, and it's gonna be a part of their life story. And I hope that they don't see these comments, because it's so disturbing to see all of these strangers that are implying that their mother didn't love them and everything else. Like, it's disturbing, but it's always some crusty, nasty dude. But those were some unhinged comments on the Kentucky baby box. And as you know, shit's not good here in the United States. And I wish that we didn't have to have these things. I wish people could just, you know, abort whenever they wanted to, for whatever reason they wanted to. And the politicians would just stay out of it, because it's really a medical issue that they have no business in. The Christians have no business bringing their religion into everybody else's life. And this country is just not what you think it is. I'm the standard. You know, you see all of these YouTubers on here that's been on here for years and years and years and years, and they've had all this money, and they've all had all this time to accumulate all of this wealth and all these brand deals and everything. They don't represent what the average is here. I would like to think that I'm somewhere near average, but it's an isolating and, like, depressing environment that I live in. Actually, you know what? One more thing I learned today, just from waking up and doing my due diligence and working on my research. Oh my goodness. So I found out that the county that I live in today is one of the 50 top counties for unemployment in the state, and one of the surrounding counties is even higher on the list than we are. So the county I live in came in at number 29. And the two counties that neighbor us came in at number 18 and 8, respectively. So it's not a good environment here. And I'm going to make another video because Kentucky is having an election, a special election for governor in 2023. It's actually going to be held in May. And you know, I'm on Team Bashir. Do I think he could be more progressive? Absolutely. But, I want to talk about, one of his potential challengers. And that's going to be a different video. So, thank you for sticking around this long. I know this was a little bit more like in-depth than what I usually do, but if you like this kind of stuff, give me a like, subscribe. Just, that's the way to let me know. And I'm gonna keep doing what I do, and hopefully I can do this more often and crank out some more videos now that I feel like I've kind of really taken the reins and control of this channel. So y'all stay safe. Bye.